What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, well, we need to have another little look at this promo pack that I showed you the other day from One Piece. I told you that there was going to be a live-action, Netflix-themed premium card collection that was going up on Premium Bandai over in Japan. I told you that was happening. I couldn't show you any cards. Although, I do owe you a little bit of an apology. You see, at the time, I showed you the Luffy and the Roanoa Zoro card. And I told you, well, they've already been released. They're probably not going to come in this drama pack. That would be weird. Turns out, the tweet that the One Piece Twitter account had sent out was actually a little bit ambiguous. It turned out whereas you could go to the cinema to see these promo cards, you couldn't actually go to the cinema to get these promo cards. I thought they were available at the time. They were actually just being shown off. They were essentially previews for this. So they are in here, and that actually now does make a whole bunch of sense. So yeah, there we go. If we want some decent predictions, I nailed this prediction. Now, I told you that there was a promo pack featuring characters that were prominently featured in the Netflix show. And I told you that this was a Netflix promo pack, essentially. It's not actually Netflix branded, but it's using images of the actors and the characters in the show. And I told you that it was very likely that what they were going to do is use the same characters that had been highlighted in this promo pack. Because obviously, if you're going to make a promo pack highlighting characters from the show, and then you're going to make another promo pack which is highlighting characters from the show, kind of makes sense to use the same characters. Well, it's not just the characters that they've gone and reused, it's actually the cards as a whole. Except for Garp. There is a Garp promo, which was part of the promo pack I showed you the other day. Unfortunately, Garp does not get a live action card. You can be upset about this, and maybe you should, because in the live action, Garp is awesome. But the fact remains, nothing we can do about it. There is a Garp in the promo pack that I showed you the other day, but unfortunately, that Garp is not in this one. There is no live action Garp card. Sorry about that. Feel free to be upset. That's the way it is. Other than that, what they've basically done is taken the cards from that promo pack I showed you the other day and essentially reprinted those cards with characters from the Netflix show, which is awesome. Now, one of the coolest things about this, as far as I'm concerned, is, and this is back to something I told you the other day, these actors are now, for the most part, bit more famous, at least more famous in more territories. And look, I know some of these actors had some success in other places. I am not trying to diminish that at all. I am saying that these actors are either more well known now than they were, or they're known in different circles, or the point is, these are now going to be booked at conventions. These actors are going to be booked for conventions more than they have been in the past, or in different conventions than they were in the past, because they are now forever going to be associated with the Netflix live action. Well, seems like we got pretty convenient cards for them to sign now, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Like, if I'm going to meet Emily Rudd, and she's awesome as Nami, would love to bump into her at a convention in the future, sure, it would be nice to get a Nami card signed, maybe the lovely film Nami card from OPO2, which I did pull from my box, which is lovely. But you know what's even better? An Emily Rudd Nami card. Getting that one signed. And that is now what we can all do, which is absolutely lovely. And here's the thing, right? I've just told you these are alternate arts of existing promo cards. So there are going to be some of you that look at these cards and go, well, see, I don't like the cards with the actors on. I don't want the cards with the actors on. Well, have I got wonderful news for you, ladies and gentlemen? You know what you can do? Just ignore them. Just literally ignore these cards, pretend they don't exist, and your experience with a One Piece trading card game will be no the worse, which is lovely. So yeah, they're coming. I love it. I'm a huge fan. Let's take a look at these one by one and remind ourselves what they actually do. So we've got ourselves the Monkey D. Luffy leader. Who doesn't like a nice Monkey D. Luffy leader? And what we've got here with the Monkey D. Luffy leader, 5,000 power, 5 life, and Don X1 when attacking. If you have 3 or fewer cards in your hand, draw a card. I really like this. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying it's got a decent amount of draw power, and if you want to play blue, I can think of much worse leaders that we could be having a little bit of a play with. This seems kind of cool to me. Now, we've got the Monkey D. Luffy character coming in here. It is a 4-cost, 5,000 power, and counter plus 1,000. And on play, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, and then your opponent chooses a character they own and places it at the bottom of their deck. Yeah, that's alright, frankly, ladies and gentlemen. Little bit of removal, that's okay. We got Roanoa Zoro, 4-cost, 6,000 power, no counter. And on play, you can pay 2 to return a character with a cost of 5 or less to their owner's hand. So another little bit of removal like we see with Luffy there. And honestly, pretty decent removal. Getting rid of a 5-cost seems pretty good to me. Now, Nami comes in as a 1-cost, 1,000 power character. On play, if you have 3 or fewer cards in hand, return up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less to its owner's hand. Yes, there's a lot of removal. It's blue. That's what blue does. But also, you'll notice that Luffy, the leader, lets you draw if you've got 3 or fewer cards in hand. This then lets you bump a 3-cost character. That's not bad for a 1-cost, ladies and gentlemen. That seems pretty gosh darned alright to me. Oh yeah, plus counter plus 2,000. This is a really good 1-cost Nami. Now, Usopp here, we got 2-cost, 3,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. You just get to rearrange the card. You get to stack the top of your deck, basically. It's going to make your deck a little more consistent. It's going to mean you draw into what you want a little bit easier. And then, of course, we've got skills that, if there's such and such on top of your deck, yay, this will help you out with that as well. Now, Sanji is a 3-cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000. You've got blocker, nice cheap blocker. And you've got Don X1 on your turn. If you have 3 or fewer cards in hand, you gain 4,000 power. Now, obviously, that is on your turn, so it's not going to work when you're actually blocking, unfortunately. But it means you've got a nice cheap blocker, which also is a 3-cost, 6,000 power attacker. And generally, your vanilla characters have 2,000 more power than cost. So a vanilla character will be 3-cost, 5,000 power. This is 3-cost, 6,000 power. Yeah, Sanji's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye out for this one. Now, we do get Dracula Mihawk, and I love this. Dracula Mihawk, I think I'm just going to start rereading One Piece. I'm getting really sad waiting so long, because I read, the whole of One Piece in 3 months, and now I've got to wait, a couple of weeks for every issue. It's making me sad. I might just reread One Piece, but I'm sure Mihawk did not have that much to do in the early days of One Piece. You got the fight with Zoro, and that was about it. So I want to go back and just double check that quickly. But either way, in the Netflix show, Dracula Mihawk is awesome. Everybody loves Mihawk. And this character, we got 6 cost, 7,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And Don X1, this character cannot be KO'd in battle by slash attribute characters. So we don't see this. This has been here since the beginning of the game. But we don't see many cards that actually use this. Slash is a symbol that Dracula Mihawk's got in the top right there. You can see that, for instance, Zoro's got that same one. Of the ones we've looked at, the next 2 are going to have it as well. Of the ones we've already looked at, it's the only one with that symbol. And it literally is the Japanese kanji for slash. And then we've got, special and hit and all of that on some of the others. But my point is, it's kind of cool. And in certain matchups, this can help you. Fun little side note, remember that Garp has got the exact same thing, except it cannot be KO'd by strike characters. Which is, a different one of their symbols. Now, Arlong comes along, 3 cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And what we've got with Arlong here is Don X1, when attacking, if you have 4 or more cards in your life area, your opponent places a card from the hand to the bottom of their deck. Nice little bit of disruption, but it is a little bit awkward here. As soon as your opponent's taken a couple life, this kind of becomes a vanilla character. Not ideal, but bit of hand disruption in the early game. I've seen worse. And then we got Shanks, 7 cost, 9,000 power. This is the big boy of the pack. And we've got, when attacking, you may discard any number of cards from your hand. This character gains 1,000 power during this battle for each card discarded in this way. Now, bearing in mind you're already starting at a 9,000 power character. This could put you up to just ridiculous levels. I like this. We've all done that thing at the end of the game where we just whack a bunch of Don on and hope our opponent can't counter us. Well, here you can whack a bunch of Don on, discard a bunch of cards from your hand, and then really hope your opponent can't counter you, which they probably can't. These are going to be going up on Premium Bandai in the not too distant future, and look, I know that not everyone's going to want this, that's absolutely fine, but I know a bunch of you are going to want this, and it's available, and that's lovely, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely lovely. It's there as an option. If you want it, brilliant. If you don't want it, then the other promo pack exists, just use the cards from there instead. I am personally looking forward to this, and I really want them. Now, I will say, in the US, this is almost certainly going to be Premium Bandai. Not confirmed, but we've seen this a million times before. Things that go up on Premium Bandai in Japan tend to go up on Premium Bandai over here. Outside of that, it's going to be local game stores, and again, we've seen this before as well. Things that go on Premium Bandai in the US tend to appear at local game stores in Europe, etc. I'm excited, these are cool, and I'm sorry the images I've shown you of these cards are quite small. I don't have better images of them. If I did, I would show you, but I don't, so I'm sorry. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about these. I want to know which your favourites are. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.